Hey now.
Hey now, this is Richard Cassioli.
What?
Exactly.
Cascioli.
Yeah,
You say-
Cascioli.
Ah.
Cascioli's the Italian way to say my name, but in America they've kind of dropped it. But now that I'm studying Italian, I like to say Cascioli. But
This is why I was writing him a
I
little
think
bit on
people
that.
are. Yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter.
No, it
No,
doesn't.
it does matter.
Well,
It actually does matter.
I actually am pointing it out because you are learning Italian and you
Yeah.
are teaching, like you've been doing it, what is it, an hour a day you've been doing for how many months?
Yeah. Ciao, buon pomeriggio, come stai? Which means hello, good afternoon, how are you?
Yeah, and you can have conversations with Italians.
Oh yeah.
I'm Faleena Hopkins, and this is Hey Now. But yeah, you've been learning the Italian, and I know that's not my topic. That's not my topic.
Yeah.
It's my turn for their topic. So on
Right.
our podcast, we drop a topic on each other. We alternate. Today is my day, so I will be doing that in a second. But I do want to pump you up on that for a second because you've been learning Italian.
Yeah.
Just because you want to. And how
Yeah.
long? 6 months? 7 months?
Yeah, approximately.
But doing an hour
know.
a day, and now you're having to
Well, I have a tutor.
and you got a tutor. I mean, this is like this
2
is
times
commitment.
a week for an hour. Then I got an hour of homework, and then I study for about an hour and a half a day. I am diligent. I want to speak fluent Italian like there's no tomorrow, and I will. There's that thing of they say when you get older, it's so much harder to obviously learn things and comprehend, especially a language. If you grew up with it, just like anything else, you're programmed. And man, do I wish my parents, my dad, I wish I wish my grandparents wouldn't have stopped them from speaking it in the house back in the day because of the whole immigrant thing. And, they thought it was, you're not smart if you speak another language. They look at you as an immigrant, especially Italians in New York and the Bronx. But I wish we would have, because I would have loved to have been able to. But again, I figured, it's never too late. You figure it out. Whatever you put your mind to, I think you can do. So I'm learning Italian, and I love it.
That's always been my thing too, because one of the things about being American and raised here is how little geography knowledge I had about the other countries. When I hear, this is where this is, I was like, what? The history I didn't learn a lot. We just learned because our country is very, 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 very big. So I get it. You go over to Europe and they have different countries right next door with completely different languages. So many people are not just bilingual, but trilingual, have 4 languages, 5 languages, and they're fluent in them because, we just spent the weekend over in Switzerland and we spend our summers down in Italy, and we're German, but we go over to France over here, for so-and-so's birthday every year. And it's that kind of thing that I've always really envied, and the ability to be able to be bilingual. I'm actually just started because of you. I'm doing Russian.
Nice.
Yeah, on the Duolingo.
I like it.
Just 10 minutes a day. I'm not doing an hour.
Yeah.
I'm not that committed yet. But I can do Privyet is hi. So hi, Privyet.
Ciao.
All right, so here's our topic. I'm going to drop a topic on you.
All right.
So I've heard you sing, Richard. By the way, we don't know what the topic's going to be, obviously, because that wouldn't be the point. I've heard you sing. How come the world hasn't heard you sing? You're quite a good singer.
I don't know. Just something I haven't really explored. Just like this.
Did you always know you were a good singer?
No, I never thought I was.
I bring this up because I want to talk about the topic of having skills or gifts that we haven't explored in ourselves, right?
Interesting.
Yeah. So talk about. Let's get that way through your singing thing, because I've heard you sing, and I'm like, dude can sing.
I would actually love to sing. That might be my new thing. Really? Yeah, learn how to sing, but then
learn how to sing. I thought you meant just go out and sing.
Well, whatever, figure it out. Get a voice coach and figure out if I'm doing it correctly, because I don't know if I am, but and then do that, and then be able to sing songs in Italian. How great would that be?
Oh,
right?
My goodness.
Right? Yeah, that's see where I'm going with this?
Then you have to be on a gondola. There's a
gondola.
Gondola.
Yeah, a gondola.
A gondola. And you'll be singing the song.
But another...
terrible. I'm so sorry. I apologize.
Another thing or another skill or talent...
No, I want to talk about singing.
Oh, talk about
You don't
singing.
get to switch over.
Well... But you said
you don't get to get around it.
That,
well, I want to know about, because I want people to. I our audience, our listeners, to think about like what talent have you been that you have that
Oh,
you really
okay.
haven't gone after. And I don't mean you have to go after to make it a career. For example, there's I volunteer at the food bank here weekly, and there's somebody who does that with me as well. And I just found out, I just shared this with you last night. She does a quartet. They do a quartet
Oh, right,
on
right.
Tuesday nights, 4 people playing their instrument. There's a viola, um, you know, and they sit and her violin, and they're not doing it to perform anywhere. And in LA, that's a big deal because
Yeah.
normally you're like, I have a goal, we're going after it. No, they just get together every week. She makes cakes and they play music.
She makes cakes.
I know, I laughed at that too. She's like, I make cakes. They come over, we play music. I'm like, if you
Right
ever want
on.
an audience, please just have me over.
Yeah.
But it's like that kind of thing. Like, are there any gifts, not necessarily ambitions you have behind it,
Well,
but are you exploring? And for you, I want to know about singing and
yeah,
why
I mean,
you haven't.
I would definitely like, that's on my list. That's on my bucket list for exploration. I do like it. I love it. And how cool would it be to, yeah, be able to explore that more? It's definitely something I want to look into.
Have you ever
Um,
sang
no,
in front of anybody?
no, not at
Has
all.
anybody ever complimented you on your singing before?
Yes. Yeah. Weird enough.
When you were a little, did you
No,
sing?
no, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was no singing walking around the house as you're doing stuff? Do you whistle as you get work done? Are you one
Oh
of
my
those
God.
like whistle while you work people?
Absolutely.
I love the whistle while you work people.
Growing up, my dad whistled all the time, taught me how to whistle. And interestingly enough, to this day, I could be in the grocery store, Trader Joe's, just happened to me the other day. I'm in the Trader Joe's and I'm walking around in my little world, getting my stuff, and I'm whistling something. And this woman stops me out of nowhere and says, "Oh my God, my husband used to whistle all the time. I think it's wonderful." And he was passed away. So she's like, "You reminded
Oh.
me." And I was like, and then I said, "Well, my dad taught me when I was younger, and you just pick it up." A lot of people can't whistle. A lot of people have a really hard time, whistling and then also holding a tune. This is another funny story
Whistle a little bit for me.
Well, wait.
I want to hear the story. Okay, I'm sorry. All of a sudden I wanted to hear the whistle.
So when I was in college, I met this girl and we didn't fall for each other. I chased her down like there was no tomorrow, would not leave her alone. She kept telling me I got a boyfriend, and I'm like, I can't even hear you. I can't hear you. I was smitten with her. Red hair, freckles, her name was Therese Casserly. And
now we've got her name out there.
Yeah, well.
All right, Therese, you got this one going.
Well, we
for
had,
a while.
And it's funny, we had the same
What a
initials.
Great name.
She was TLC, Therese Linyen Casserly, and it was TLC. And I'm RKC, Richard Kenneth Cassioli. So it was funny. And then we eventually got married, and she.
You actually married her?
Yeah,
so it's okay. What the?
Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, I married her.
I'm supposed to spring things on you this time.
Yeah.
You just spring them on me.
So we used to play.
Her.
We used to go down to the laundry room and do our laundry together, right? And I made up this game. I said, I'm going to whistle a tune. You're not going to know what it is. You got to figure out what the tune is from whistling, not by singing the actual words. And she got every one of them. She's like, "My God, you whistle so well." Again, my father whistled all the time.
I want to hear you whistle, but first now I need to hear how it went from she wasn't having any of it to you married her. You just jumped, and like that's where the shock came through. So she had a boyfriend.
Yeah.
You were persistent. When did she finally say, "Okay, I don't have the boyfriend anymore"? What are you doing later? And then just kind of twirled the thingy. How did that moment change? This is the romance novelist in me. How did the moment change from that to that? I'm not going to put it in a book. I'm just saying I never do that.
I just wore her down.
Well, but there had to be a moment when you're like, I won.
I'm trying to think when. I'm not sure when the moment was, because we were there for the first half of the semester, which is up until Christmas time,
right?
And she was still not having it, and she went home not having it. She's like, and she would literally have her roommates come to the door when I would knock on the door and say, "She's not home." I go, "I know she's there." I said, "She's avoiding me." And
you were like stalking her.
Oh, I was,
but with love. Because
no, it wasn't stalking her.
No, because stalking can get scary. You were smitten, and they were like, "She's not here."
Yeah, and I knew.
What happened to the boyfriend?
I knew what I wanted.
I'm sorry, I keep interrupting. I'm so excited about the story.
She went home, I think, for Thanksgiving, and then went home for Christmas, and came back and the minute she got back, I'm right there at the door. Hey, what are you doing? You want to go to lunch? You want to?
Did you know what day she was coming back?
No, but she lived in the same dorm as me. We had co-ed dorms, but the floor, we had 4 floors, but half of the side of the dorm had folding doors on both sides of the square, and one half was all female, the other half was male. So each floor was co-ed as well.
Oh,
yeah. And so
what school was this?
Oswego State. It's up by Syracuse. Okay. So I would just make it a point to, go past her dorm.
You're like,
and see if she was home.
Does she happen to be back from Christmas yet?
Because she lived in a suite with other girls, and in the suite was like a big living room, and then they had their separate bedrooms.
Oh, that's cool.
So there was 4 girls in there, and they always had their door open because everybody was kind of like friendly and had their door. So I would just always make sure I went down that way, went down the stairs to go to class and peek my way in. I'm like, because I was like, I wanted to walk her to class, And
if you're listening to the podcast, we also have this on video, and you need to watch it because he just made the cutest expression of looking around to see if she was inside. You have to see that. You have to watch this. Yeah, go ahead.
So I think, she went home for Christmas, came back.
I'm sorry, the sexiest expression. Not
and I tried.
It was the sexiest, most dangerous, awesomest expression.
Again, I tried to wear her down a little bit, and then she went home for the summer after the first year, and then she came back, and it's so far long ago. I can't remember when it might have been that year, I think, because I started dating her very early. I think my sophomore year. And then she came back, and I don't know if she said that she wasn't dating him anymore, or if I just was like, all right, enough's enough. This guy's got to go. I don't know him, but
Yeah, I don't know him. I've never seen him. I don't care to see him. He's got it. Don't want to know him.
But do you want to do this?
The only thing I want to know about him is that he's gone.
And then, like I said, I would walk her to class, and I kind of just wore her down. I pulled my New York Italian charm on her and just never gave up. And then eventually we started dating, and that was it. And then we graduated, and then she moved down by me. She lived in Rensselaer County up by Albany, and she moved down closer to the city where I lived. We moved outside the city, and we lived in Rockland County, Nyack. And she moved down, and then she rented an apartment from my father. My father had another house, and her and a girlfriend rented. And then we got married, and so
you were just really young.
Oh God, we were so young. I think we were married by 25. I think 25. I think is when we got married, if I'm not mistaken. It was a long time ago, but so it was. Anywho,
I got married at 23.
Oh wow!
And he was 22.
Yeah, that's early.
And we knew each other 2 weeks and 3 days.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, we knew.
We'll just let that sit there.
Quite some time, but well.
Oh, fa.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah.
What's funny is my family and some friends call me fa. I know you're saying the ufa. It's a thing. Yeah, they say fa.
I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So singing.
Yeah, I don't even know about the singing. The singing, like
so you whistled. Oh, I want to hear the whistle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, hear the whistle.
Come on.
Well, no. Let's try the thing where you whistle a song and I see if I know what it is.
Well, I could whistle. I'll whistle some easy ones for you.
Make it hard.
Well, yeah.
All right. Yeah, make it hard. Give me a hard one.
No, I'll just give you a little Christmas tune.
Okay. Well, no, you just warned me what it. And the dawn is so delightful. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Yeah.
I could be a professional
That was really good.
whistler.
That was a really good whistle.
Thanks to my dad.
Do one that's not Christmassy and don't warn me what it is first, because that was too easy. Because I knew. Although I would have known it because it's definitely a Christmas song.
I'm trying to think of a.
Let it snow, let it snow.
Yeah, I don't even. I can't think right now of a song that.
This is the point of me springing things on you. You're supposed to come up and jump to it.
Yeah, I understand that. But,
do the freaking whistle. No, I'm just kidding. How about a 70s whistle? Is there a 70s song you know? Classic rock, a classic rock whistle.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't know. I don't want to sit here thinking about it now.
Okay. All right.
But to inspire, which I think that's your point, is like to inspire the audience to like do things that you don't want to do. I like I said, I
Oh no, that's not my point. My
oh
point was no, I don't want people to do things they don't want to do. I want them to do things that they might have a gift for, and I want to see if they have something that they haven't really looked at that they would like to do,
yeah, that's yeah.
yet not don't want to do.
I personally feel, anything you put your mind to, you can achieve. There's no age, start, put one foot in front of the other and then let it take off. For instance, the Italian. I was sitting here last year about this time on my balcony. It was Christmas time. And I just thought to myself, wow, there are a couple things I would love to do. And I just have not done them. And why am I holding back? And it's intimidation. It's that old adage of people telling you, well, you get to a certain age, you can't learn, you can't, why even try? It's too hard. And I thought, well, there were two things that I said last year that I wanted to do. One was learn Italian, so I started that and I'm doing that, and the other one was to learn how to play the piano, because
I want to do that too.
yeah, I'm a percussionist and I play the drums. I tried to learn how to play the guitar because I really love the I think it's so romantic, the Spanish guitar.
Oh
It's,
yeah,
oh God,
Spanish guitar.
So I tried, and I had a guy trying to help me teach me and everything, and because of my dexterity from working out and construction, like when I wrap my hand around the guitar, oh man, motherfucker, it hurts. Like everything hurts. My hands hurt. But then I thought, well, wait, piano is kind of like percussion. And no offense to professional pianists or concert pianists, it's a very eloquent, musical instrument, and it's kind of in that realm. But for me, I'm like, well, if I can keep a beat and play the drums, if I learn the keys, this is a lot easier to me than wrapping my hands around a guitar like this. So I figured, and I have tried to play the piano a little bit, and I can do it. Like I can do it.
Oh,
And maybe not, as eloquent as a, Brahms or, stuff like that. But if I learn some songs, and that's all I want to really do is learn some songs so I can kind of bang some stuff out, and
well, I'm gonna point out to you when I see another thing, because I've seen a couple pianos where they're free on Facebook Marketplace. This upright pianos, because people are trying to get rid of them. One just had it in a storage unit. They're like, come and get it. And I just didn't have a way to pick it up, or really the space to have it in right now. You have the space for that. I'll let you know when I see another one, because they don't have a place for it and they're moving to a different spot. And it's like, there's plenty of them that are for sale on there. And I guess some people are just giving them away, but what a great thing. And then I could learn and play too.
I actually have a keyboard and an amp that, we've hooked it up, and, jammed on it a little bit when I used to have my electronic kit up here too.
Were you
my
doing lessons with this?
No. My ex-girlfriend could play the guitar. She could play piano. So we would just sit in the back room, and she would and we jam. She played percussion. She was a drummer too. Awesome.
Do you have drums here?
I have an electronic kit downstairs. Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah. I had it in the back, but then I moved it downstairs because I needed more space for my office and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. I've never been down there. I thought it was a basement.
Yeah. It's like a storage place.
Oh, got it. Okay. It's not like
basement.
A music room.
No, God.
That's been hidden. Yeah.
I wish. But
I would totally.
That's another thing.
I'm like, how did I not see this music room? Okay. Now I understand.
I would love to set up a, music room maybe in my next house, but
yeah,
I think anybody, if you really want to do something, you should do it and put your, get after it. Why not? And I think what it does for you as well, one, it gets out your creative side, number one. And then two, it gives you the liberty, like you're doing something. So it puts you in a different mindset. Just by learning Italian, I've been so happy lately these last couple of months. And it's because I look forward to something and I'm learning something. It could be a little frustrating at first, but it's just like anything else. I thought I wrapped my head around it. I said, well, nothing comes overnight, and nothing, worth value comes easy. So you got to put in your time, but I'm doing it. And now I'm at the point where I've let go of the kind of self-criticism. I'm not learning fast enough. I'm very impatient. And now when I get on Zoom with my tutor, and I just say, you know what, I'm just going to absorb, whatever, because you're going to absorb something through whatever lesson you take, and you don't have to be perfect right out of the gate, but little by little. And then all of a sudden you're speaking it, or you're playing the piano, or you're playing the guitar, or the drums, and you're like, wow, I didn't realize how far I've come.
Yeah.
So,
And I was just thinking about you taking the singing classes. One of the things about, I think in the olden days, 20 years ago, 10 years ago, we didn't have the access to all the online classes. So you'd have to find a singing coach. You'd have to pay for, you have to go and make the date. You'd have to go there. And I was just thinking about it because you're doing the tutoring. So you have the tutoring, and you've got somebody actually from Italy tutoring you in this because you can. And it's like, if people are like, well, I don't have the money to do it, well, save up. I mean, because this is a new skill you have. And you were telling me you were out talking to somebody. He was Italian, and all of a sudden you were having a conversation with them in Italian.
yeah.
And the 10 minutes a day I'm doing in the Russian thing, and this is not like a sponsorship for Duolingo, but like if they want to, if they want to give us a call, they can. But I'm doing 10 minutes a day, and it plays like a little game. It's, there's like little animated people jumping when I do well, and it goes, Lily, congratulations, you did 5 in a row right. You did all of them together. You're on today is my 9th day, so it's like you're on a 9-day streak. Yeah. So it's like I've been doing 10 minutes a day every day. Yep. And I'm doing it when I'm walking the dog. So here I am learning another language.
Yeah.
Faleena. Basically like musican, which is I am a musician, which sounded terrible. But I can do Russian accent, so I have to put together Faleena is doctor, which is doctor. But in one of the things that they're doing doctor. What they're doing in the Duolingo is interesting. Is they're actually showing it. Are they showing it to you in their language? Because I'm learning how to write it too. Because Russian has different things.
Oh, absolutely.
So it's showing
Accents,
me in
everything.
Russia. But because they don't use our language. And I don't mean just our language, because they're not using our letters. The Russian letters are different. So it's been very interesting. Like what looks like an H is pronounced like an N. And I'm learning this because I'm like, how is that privyet? Like, what is that? And I'm having to figure it out and then see it. And like, doctor sounds like doctor. It sounds like doctor. And actor is actor, which sounds like it, but it looks like actep in the thing, AKTEP.
Oh yeah.
But it's because the P comes out as an R.
Yeah.
Really interesting. Because they use different things, and it's not a P, and there's this thing, and they're like, what does this look like to you? What does this sound like to you?
Well, and
then here I am spending this time. I'd be walking the dog, not doing this. So why not? It's super fun.
The way it is today with languages and stuff, and if you do it via Zoom, I mean, my lessons are $20 a pop.
That's it?
For my tutor. Yeah. So
that's
how
totally
can you
affordable.
not? When I signed on with her, I was like, can I study like every day? And, and she's like, no. She's like, in her accent, it's funny. She's like, no, sweetheart. We got to start out with 2 days a week. You're going to get overwhelmed. I know, I got this.
Like, yeah, not you. She doesn't know you.
Yeah, but I'm glad I didn't.
Now she does.
Because the homework, the homework takes a minute because she sends me the homework. Everything is in Italian.
Oh.
So you have to translate it from Italian to English. And then you got to understand what they're asking you, and then you got to answer it, but then you got to answer it in Italian, not in English. So it's a little tricky. Yeah. And then with Italiano, everything is singular, plural, male, female. So when you're addressing, so if you're addressing one woman, you say it one way. If you're addressing 2 women or more, you say it a different way. Same with men, but then you have to change the entire sentence. Everything has to change in the sentence to accommodate if you're speaking to a woman, 2 women, a man, 2 men. So, and their words mean several things. Like, for instance, vicino, it means near, but it also means neighbor. And it means neighbor and near because your neighbor is near to you. And when I first started learning, I'm saying to her, what is going on here? They're like trying to confuse me. And she goes, no, again, sweetheart, we have things that mean several different things.
We do that too, though. Think about some of the things that we have.
Yes and no. But it's interesting. But once you learn the rhythm and she calls it a trick. Well, once you learn the pattern, the trick, then when you look at it, you could automatically, like now, when I see a complete paragraph, which they give you,
Mm-hmm.
I can read the entire paragraph and understand it and then answer it. But to speak it back is a little more difficult. But that's your first stage of learning, is the cognitive stage of actually being able to understand it, read it. Then it's a little more difficult for your mind and your mouth to put it together in order to actually speak it fluently,
Right.
which I'm not there yet, but I'm understanding and I'm getting it. And if I do it slow enough with someone having a conversation, I can put things together, but it's again, nothing ventured, nothing gained, right? It's wonderful to explore and to trust yourself and to just, and again, for anyone out there, trust me, start doing something, learn something
that you enjoy.
Yeah. Whether it's music or a language or something that you really want to do, right? That you enjoy, and make the time. It's interesting that we're talking about this real quick, but think about how much time, right, you spend getting up, going to work. You get up, you brush your teeth, you go to work, you drive the same way in your car, right? You get to work, see the same people, talk the same, do the same work. Then you drive home in the same traffic. Then you get home, and what do? You
see the same shows.
You watch the same television shows,
food.
Or you get on your phone and you're looking at Instagram or TikTok or YouTube, or you get on the computer or you're answering emails, right? And then think, like, just what we're talking about. Then how much time do you spend on something fun for yourself?
That's just fun.
Just for fun.
Yeah. And there's going to be some people out there who are going to be like, I do that all the time. But from what I've seen, not common.
No, it's not.
No.
So you can't.
It could be, though, because what are we going to spend our time with? And this is one thing we've learned, is because, like, you just lost your father. I lost my brother in October. And we know, like, for me, it's brought up, like, well, how do I want to spend my time? Which is why I wanted to talk about this topic today. Because is there something some gift you have, some interest you have, even if you want to sing and you're not a good singer, I know
is on my side. Yes, it is.
Yeah, but here's the thing: is, like, I know people who are like, I can't sing, but I love to sing. Well, cool. Get a singing coach and just get better at it.
Why not?
Just for the fun of it. Well, they might think I'm bad. They probably will. And who cares? Because you're paying them. And you get to go and do what you love and go, like, okay, help me get better. And people just appreciate that. Like, you sit there and go, you know what? You're showing up for yourself, for your own time. Because in that schedule, this is the thing about the Russian. You inspired me with the Italian, because you're doing it for an hour every day. And I thought, well, I'm doing this walk with the dog every day. Why don't I just do 10 minutes? I've been meaning to learn Russian because I did my web series, The Russian Spy, years ago, and want to do more of that. But I wanted to actually speak Russian in it. Yeah, let it out. I wanted to actually speak Russian. And why not learn it? And then I met somebody recently, and she speaks Russian. So she went up. I said, she said, how are you? And I said, yeah, Faleena. Yeah, Faleena. And she started laughing. She goes, I asked how you are, and you say, I am Faleena. And I said, that's because I'm learning Russian. And she's like, I said, I walked up and at the food bank too, because one of the reasons also it came up is Ukraine and the Russian war right now. There's quite a few people at the food bank who are coming in from there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So they're there. They're new immigrants, maybe even refugees. I'm not sure exactly, but they're there with families and they're signing up, and they're coming up knowing very little English. And I'm sitting here going, well, they're learning English. Mm-hmm. Why don't I learn? And so one came up the other day, and he speaks very little. He's very strong accent. Yes, my Vlad, not Vlad wasn't his name. What was his name? Let's just say Anton. And I said, oh, привет. And he looked at me, and I said, I'm learning Russian. And then I said something about, I said spasiba, which is thank you. And then as he left, he said, bye. And I said, do svidaniya. And he started laughing. He goes, do svidaniya. Yeah, and it just opens them up.
Moment.
Yeah, it's a moment. You're connecting with another human being. Yeah. And I am starting to learn a little bit. Like, it's been very exciting. And I'm already doing that walk with the dog.
Yeah.
You're already doing that drive. This is one of the things about podcasts are so great, is that you can take somebody, you can learn something, I'm not saying hours, but when you're driving, about hours too, you can learn something as you're driving. Like there's so many things nowadays that you can add to the normal routine that changes
I
it
think
and elevates you
it's interesting. There's a
or
theme.
entertains.
I just thought of this, but there's like a little bit of a theme here, that we're talking about. Like, just do something, that makes you feel good, but makes other people feel good. Like, for
Mm,
instance, you're working at a food bank and you're volunteering and you're helping people. I sponsor kids. I've been sponsoring kids my entire life for, probably 30 plus years.
yeah.
And I give back for fun and for free. I don't get paid, but
Right.
that's not what it's about. It's about me giving back and being able to just hold space for these kids who are, maybe not doing so well, maybe need to just,
They,
get a different perspective
yeah. And they
on.
need a male figure that they
Yeah.
can feel safe with
Well,
as well.
that's another big thing.
And
That's
I'm not
another,
saying that most men you can't feel safe with, but to
no,
have a guy
right.
like you be, working with teens and like
Well,
being
and that interesting that
it's
came up
very cool because
that,
you're somebody people can
yeah.
look up to
And that came up today at the meeting.
and
We
trust.
were talking about something, and a kid said to me, he goes, "Yeah, easy for you to say, look at you." And I'm like, I understand that. I said, but I didn't look like this my entire life. I said, I used to look just like you. And through,
You should have a picture of you as a teen and show them. Do you have one on your phone?
I don't, but I will.
That's a great
I
idea
have a
because they
bunch
have
of,
no idea what you've done. Because this
yeah,
body he has, he built that.
yeah,
It takes time and effort. But yeah,
self-made.
self-made. Because some people
Again,
are like kind of predisposed to that, but it's like you made this, and you do it on the
I was a
regular.
peanut as a kid. I
So was I.
mean,
I was a peanut too.
yeah. But again, just think of that. Like, where there's a will, there's a way. Just how bad do you want it? I always say to people, in my kids I sponsor, and, I work with a lot of adults as well. And I say, choices and consequences. How bad do you want to be happy? Do you want to put in the effort? Some people, unfortunately, are so stuck in the program, right?
The
Of
program that they're in, like the Matrix.
like the Matrix,
Yeah,
how
you're
you were
kind of in the
programmed as a
Matrix. Like this is
kid.
what it is, which is why
Yeah,
maybe not even how bad do you want it, but maybe starting with a little bit of a day of a bit if you haven't hit the bottom yet. Some people never hit their bottom, so they never pick themselves up and like change things, and then they wonder why on their
yeah,
deathbed they're like, I wish I had done this.
yeah.
I've heard too many people say, "I wish I'd done this. I wish I'd done that." It's like you can
Yeah,
do anything you want.
I I don't want to I don't want to be that guy. I said that a long time ago. Like, I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be the guy who has regrets. If you can go through life and at the end of your life, you can say, "Man, I have no regrets. Everything that happened, I'm right where I'm supposed to be, and everything happened accordingly, just to where I was, But if you, like we're talking right now, like just doing different things and being happy and doing things for other people to make them happy, just because, not because you're getting paid or whatever, it changes your outlook on life. It changes your game. You become a different person. You're changing other people, and
Yeah.
it's a choice. Everything is a choice. Happiness is a choice. If you could choose to be miserable, and some people don't want to do the work in order to, I think they're just so stuck in their ways, their thinking, that they can't get out of it. But then comes
Well,
that
I
thing.
know that that's what it is,
It is,
and it's
yeah.
not their fault. It's like
No,
you're when you're stuck in a groove. I know when I was stuck in grooves, I had no idea until I started getting out of them, and then it became glaringly obvious what I had been doing, but I didn't know
right.
until it became so awful I had to change.
Well, that's what I call, and it's not my phrase, but environment trumps will. If you're in an environment where you're being kind of kept down and you don't feel good about yourself, you're not going to do what we're saying, like maybe try singing, try this, try that. You're not even going to want to volunteer your time because you're miserable, right? So you're
Right.
not going to be happy. You don't want to make anyone else happy because you're miserable. And no matter how much work you do on yourself, how much you want, read books, go to therapy, reason things out with your friends, you're never going to get out of that mindset if you're still going back to the original environment that created your feelings around this. And we're all programmed up to an early age. We know that. It's been discussed for centuries. So, but here's the thing, we could reprogram ourselves. I
Well,
mean,
yes, and I'll tell you what though, I was in a bad place when I started volunteering. I it wasn't in a good place to make me do it. I knew from other times I'd been of service in other ways
yes,
that it would help me. So
Right.
I was in a terrible bad place. So I thought, well, I'll help them.
But that's my point.
And that
You got
helps
out of
me.
the environment.
Yes.
You got out of your stinking thinking and you said, let me go be of service.
Yes.
And being of
I
service.
shoved myself
Right.
out of it. Yes.
I did the same thing with the kids.
Yeah.
I was miserable.
Yeah, exactly.
And
like,
this
I can't.
really quick story. This woman called me. They were making an announcement to have somebody stand up and volunteer and start a program for kids.
Right.
25 years ago. No one would do it. No one would do it. Myself included. I'm like, no way, because it was a 2-year commitment. I was miserable at the time. I had just gotten out of a relationship that just crushed me. So my point is, I'm crushed. I'm devastated. And this girl starts calling me probably a dozen times and said, Richard, you would be perfect for this. You would be perfect. You gotta help kids. You know, I've listened to you speak and blah, blah, blah. And I said, no, please stop. Leave me alone. And then I finally agreed to do it. You're going to love this. I finally agreed to do it with her. I show up to start the meeting and to build the format and everything. And she says, I got bad news. I'm like, what? I got to go on a tour with Faith Hill for like 9 months. So you're going to have to do this on your own. Good luck. So I'm sitting there by myself and I'm like, really? But then I thought, okay, wait a minute. This must be my calling. So I sat there for.
She's like, would you do it? Would you do it? Would you do it? Come do it. I'll do it with you. I'll do it with you. Oh, you're here? Cool. I got to go.
Like Charlie Brown, kick the ball and then pull the ball out.
Yeah, that was, she was.
I'm like,
she
really?
Was, yeah, Lucy.
Wow. Point being, though, I stuck it out and I did it and I put the whole format together myself I sat there by myself for a year. Not one kid came for almost 2 years. Not one kid came, and I would commit myself and sit and sit and sit. And finally, one kid showed up, and I'm like, okay, here we go. Have a seat, and we just and then
hold up a second. You went and you sat there waiting for a kid.
Oh yeah.
Made it known that kids could go.
Oh yeah, it was out in the announcement and everything.
And nobody came, and you went and waited anyway. Now that is amazing.
Yeah, I held space. If you build it, they will come.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And
right,
here now.
I already admire you, but you just blew my freaking mind. That is so cool. You just waited, and then finally they came.
It started. And then here, 25 years later, I'm still doing it. You know?
That is amazing.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm just going to wait. I'm going to wait. I said I'd be here. I'm here. If a kid needs me, I'm going to be here.
I got mad will and drive.
Yeah, you do.
Like,
you really
I
do.
will wait this
out. Rub that off.
Yeah, somebody's going to show up one of these days. I know it.
That will and drive on me. I used to have a lot more. I'm going to need it back.
It's all about tenacity, drive, will, and then obviously discipline. That's your number one key. And I'm disciplined. So I was like, okay, you are very disciplined. I'm going to set this aside every week, regardless if kids show up. I'm going to go there. I would bring a book, whatever, and I would sit, for an hour and a half, 2 hours. Nobody shows up. Okay, I pack everything up and go home. And do it again every week.
Every week. That's 52 weeks a year. And it took how long for them to show up the first one?
Oh, about 2 years. 2 years. It just, I don't know why.
104 times you sat there.
Twiddling my thumbs.
I'm here. I'm here. I'll be here whenever they come. And now you've been doing it how long?
25 years.
Because now they are there. It's amazing. And that's a perfect time to end and say, I think just to wrap it up with this, we've gone a lot over. We're at 40 minutes this time. No. Yeah, well, 39.
But the moral of the story is get after it. Whatever it is, get after it. Even if you got to sit there for 2 years, get after it.
Something that will make you feel good.
Yes. And as a result, it makes me, I can't even tell you how great I feel.
Yeah, and genuinely feel good.
Yes.
Because that's the thing is you showed up all those times, which was for your own self-esteem, your own confidence. You're like, I said I would do this, so here I am.
Right.
And that
I made a commitment.
I made a commitment and I kept it.
Follow through.
Yes.
Yeah. And there's the discipline. Follow through.
Yes.
Commit something to yourself and don't quit.
You're right.
Regardless if anyone shows up or not, don't quit. Don't quit on yourself. Get after it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's impressive.
Right on. Thank you.
All right. All right. Well, thanks for listening to us, guys. Like us on all the socials. Do all the stuff.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Have a great day.